Hey everyone, welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Boykin. I am still in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to be here through the weekend and got some stuff to talk to you about that. I'm going to be joined here on the show very shortly by our good friend Teodrose Fikre. Teo was down in New York City today. There was a huge rally. Against a lot of the policies that Mayor de Blasio and outgoing Mayor Andrew, it's not rape if you're Italian, Cuomo, have instituted there throughout the city and the state. When I talked to him on the phone earlier, he was super, super, super pumped about it. So I can't wait to hear more about that. Um, got a lot more to talk about. Um, Before any of this does happen, I need to say that the show is entirely viewer supported. We do have a GoFundMe up. I'd like for the last 10 days or so, we haven't done much in terms of broadcasts. And have taken a hit for that. I will drop the link in the chats here at some point. Um, Links are in the description to all of the ways to support the show. Merch coming soon. Promise. Got some good news about that this week. Um, what else? Okay, so there's an underground music festival that happens all along South Broadway Street in Denver here, and that's going to take place this week. And Kendra and I are going to set up a booth. And pass out a bunch of Assange stuff. And I've got like some cards and prints and stuff like that from the big homie, Johnny Larson, Johnny Bravado, Yeti Slang, stuff that looks like this, and some kick-ass stickers of like alien gerbil. Oh, it's green. That's why you can't see it. Cute. This shit, like it's cool stuff, man. Also, Johnny signed my Nancy Pelosi with the broken bottle. I'm a street fighter. I'm a street fighter. Ah, love that guy. Got to see him and hang out with him yesterday. That was fucking rad, dude. Maybe it was the day before. I can't even remember anymore. Um, let's see. So I would like to, and I don't really know how much of this I can realistically talk about on YouTube, but maybe we'll see how far we can go with Teddy here in a minute, and then we'll kick the stream over to Rockfin for the rest of it. Also, should probably let some more people trickle in to the YouTubes here. It's been a pretty cool week, y'all. Lots of good stuff up and coming as well. Tomorrow on the show, Kriston T. Harris from the Rundown Live. Man, that guy is like everywhere, and he's been doing the shit for a little bit more than a decade, and just has a very clear-eyed approach to what the fuck is going on in the world and how that works. Very much looking forward to that. This Sunday, oh my God, y'all, the one and only Jared Beck will be back on the show. Jared, of course, DNC fraud lawsuit attorney, and our good friend. Let's see. Oh, I'm using the fucking webcam mic. Y'all gotta tell me this shit. Is that any better? Hopefully that's better. If the audio is better, please do let me know in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, always a pleasure to have this man on the show. Good friend and frequent flyer here at Slow News Day, editor-in-chief at the Guion Journal, and just wonderful human being. Teodrose Fikre, it is excellent to have you back, brother. Good to see you.
What's up, Steve? What's going on with you?
Man, I'm just hanging in.
By the way, let me know if this is better or if this is better. I don't know if this is better.
That's a little bit better, honestly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm kind of like on, doing a beat reporting. Now I'm going from a journalist to a beat reporter. So it's the evolution of Teodrose.
Man, is it beat reporting when it's you picking your assignment and you picking what it is you're gonna write about and you being the one that edits your material? I don't know, man. I think you can like put yourself in a different class of like investigative journalist or on the ground,
Right. True. You can say I'm beat reporting, and I moved to my own beat or to the rhythm of my own beat. How about that? Or
All
something
right.
like that. Anyway, it's been a long day. What's going on,
Well, I
though?
know, and I appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us about what you were up to in New York today. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and put the like the promo that they had up for this thing out while up on screen while you kind of let us know what was going on and what you saw and why you were encouraged when you and I spoke on the phone earlier.
Right. So you want me to start now? You're going to do the promo.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. So what was in? Look, I've known for a long time. Like for example, the January the 6th event, right? That was weaponized to pit America against each other, and then to almost insinuate that anyone that's against the vaccine is this right wing white supremacist, right? And by the way, I was there that day. Now, granted, the vast majority of the people that were there were supporting Trump. I wasn't.
I
So
wasn't
that's
either.
their right, huh?
I was there, and I wasn't supporting Trump in any
Right.
way, shape.
Right. But I mean, but if people do that, stay right. I don't vilify Trump supporters. I don't vilify Obama supporters, which I used to be back in the day. My beef is not with the everyday man and woman, right? We have to stop vilifying each other. You have to look. You can't shoot sideways. I'm not saying that we should shoot at all, but the source is from the top. Look up. Stop. Why are you shooting sideways as if there's somebody that's right next to you is your enemy? They're not. Irrespective of what their skin color is, what their ideology is, what their orientation is, what their faith is or lack thereof. So what was encouraging to me today, because if you look at every time there's a story about people that are quote unquote vaccine hesitant, I call us common sensors. People that have enough common sense to say, wait, this doesn't add up, and I'm not going to participate in a medical experiment. Every time there's people that push back, they're presented as Trump supporting right wing white supremacists, right? And that's what January the 6th, why that day was so pivotal. If you were there, you saw it. Like I would tell you from firsthand reporting, everyone that I met on January the 6th was peaceful. Everyone, they all were welcoming. In fact, I would say like 30% of the people that were African Americans, which surprised me. Now, I'm not saying this to endorse Trump or to endorse what they were saying, but I just know that the way that day was presented in media and what that day was actually like are two different things, right? So that day was ever since then, everyone eventually pivoted to vaccine people, right? Anyone that did not want to get vaccinated must be of those people. So, and every media narrative is played through that prism. So being there on the ground today and seeing a sea of humanity, I saw socialists and conservatives. Black people, I don't like these labels, black and white, but black people and white people. Gay and straight. Jews and Christians and atheists. It was a panoply of people. And they were all there saying, we don't want this. And now I know what Channel 7 was there. There was this guy that's pretty famous here in New York, and I went up to him and talked to him. He said, "So are you out here encouraging people not to get vaccinated and killing people?" I can't believe he said this. A journalist said this. And I said, "What? These things are not vaccines." And he was taken aback. He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, a vaccine is supposed to prevent you from catching a pathogen or passing it on, and this does neither. So by definition, these are not vaccines." And he rolled up the window. They're cowards, by the way. These people, I have no respect for them, because the minute that they encounter someone that knows as much as they do, they just shrivel up like a raisin. But being there and seeing the speeches, the people that were enthusiastic about pushing back, there was one lady in particular from the Dominican. My God, Haiti, I think it was. And the speech that she gave, man, I was ready to run through a wall. That's one of the speeches I forwarded to you, by the way. So yeah, it was just beautiful, and I was out there passing out, So I've decided to go low tech because I've been censored so much on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, LinkedIn. I've hit for the cycle, and yesterday I hit for the cycle +1 because I got booted from Clubhouse. So the only way for me to get the information out there from my perspective is to hand out these little cards. And that's how we do it. And if you go to our website, which is the GionJournal.com, GHION journal.com, there's a part in the menu that says low tech. And when you click on that, it gives you the option of printing out the articles in a flyer format. You can cut them up and give them out to people. So that's how we do it. We must organize. We must get the message out there. We must push back against these media narratives. And when we do that, we have a chance of reaching people. So that's where we're at.
Man, I couldn't agree more. You know me, bro. I'm about the direct action. I'm about getting in the streets, and I'm about, getting people the opportunities that they aren't necessarily taking for themselves, to read up more about this, to know what the genuine information is. It's oh God, dude! I've got up on screen right now. I don't know how I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just some Twitter video footage of the protest from earlier, and I mean, it really does look like a mass of people out there. I'm gonna see if there's any more like random video. Yeah, dude, there's some great shots of this event.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Steve, one more thing. What was really encouraging, in 2015, I had a cop save my life. Up until that point, I used to be scared of cops. Ever since then, I've been very grateful, and I would go talk to them and approach them and let them know, listen, I used to be afraid of y'all. I used to think that y'all were a bunch of dickheads. But now that a cop saved my life, I realize you're human beings just like me, just like us. And there is no us versus you when it comes to cops versus the public. And they're they get shocked about when I do that. And I talk to them at length. So I did that today again. There was a bunch of NYPD. I must have talked to at least 30, 40 of them. And I would tell them not only about my experience with the cops and how that changed, but eventually I would say, and so what do you think about this? And privately, I'm not going to say how many of them, but a significant number said, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. So this is the danger that this government, this mafia government is placing themselves under, because now they're not only are they unifying people, they're unifying people that are upholding the establishment, and they're saying, what the heck's going on? So this could literally be like Egypt, like Tahrir Square, where the Mubarak tried to send in the military, and the military turned on Mubarak. So we're approaching that critical phase. And the stars are lining up. And as always, when it's a hubris, when people in power push too much because they get drunk off power, there's eventually a blowback. And the same thing happened in Romania. I encourage everyone to look up. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Nicolae Ceausescu, I think it is. Yeah. Ceausescu. There's a speech where he gives. So a little background. He orders troops into a town called Tavaria, and they massacre countless numbers of people. And then he's so confident that nothing's going to happen, he goes out of the country. And then he comes back. He's giving a speech on the balcony like Mussolini. And in the very back, people start chanting the name of the town, Tavaria, Tavaria. And then you hear it. It starts cascading forward. And then finally gets to where he hears it. And the bastard froze up like the bitch that he is. And his wife rushes by his side and tries to prop him up. It was too late. This guy ruled Romania with an iron fist for 30 years. He was gone in one day. And they found him cowering in an APC, and he was summarily executed, the next day or shortly thereafter. So this is the danger, as always. When people get drunk off power, they push people too much. And like I said, I don't advocate violence. I don't advocate revolutions with a gun. But I do advocate that we defend our freedoms and liberties. And so this is where we're heading to.
No, I mean, that's definitely a prominent school of thought. It really is. I have a couple of different ideas about how we can achieve something similar without the all of the things that come with, you know, revolution or an uprising of sorts. In my personal opinion, brother, I think that a revolution just brings us right back to where we
Right back.
started.
Exactly, exactly.
And I don't
Yeah.
think we can do that. I think we have to have something that looks a lot more like ascension, that looks a lot more like
Right,
forward movement.
right.
And I mean, I've been talking about this to a lot of people, man, and it doesn't matter what faith they are. Everyone to a person who is of a spiritual nature will agree that what's happening right now, along with this massive psychological operation, is a spiritual war. And
Right.
that you know, one of the final battlefronts of this is absolutely going to be in the mind and the soul. And what we're seeing right now with all of the people that have just laid down for this thing and have allowed their children to be like force shot up with drugs, or you know, I'm running real close to like getting kicked off of YouTube for what we're talking about here. I may just throw the rest of this over to Rockfin. But what I'm getting at is that those are some soul dead motherfuckers already, soul dead. Know for a fact that all they have is this. So if all they have is this, they're going to be as selfish as humanly possible so that they can get back to the way things were. Well, nothing is ever
Right.
going back to the way it was. That's the most ridiculous shit you've ever heard my entire goddamn life.
Look
And
at what's happening in Israel. I mean, Israel now they're saying third booster shot. Iceland. It's crazy. I don't.
every time you bring it up, they're like, huh? I saw a great graphic that when I do throw this over to the Rockfin only, I will put up. I know you don't have too much time. I know you've been away from the family all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you here too long. But man, we've got. I mean, first of all, what do you think about that?
Look, from a spiritual place, I don't make it a point to preach to people. When I do talk about my faith, it's more that to share my ideas, and it's not to convert anyone. I always have to say that as a preamble of sorts. But there's a part that really struck me when I read a part of that one time, just randomly, and I landed on Zechariah 13:8, and it said 2/3 will be cut off and perish, and a third will survive therein, and the third that survive will be tested and then made pure as gold. Now, why that hit me like a thunderbolt is because if you look at almost every opinion poll about vaccination enthusiasm rates, or people that want to get jabbed or that are thinking about it, it's 66%. It's give or take, right, within a margin of error. It basically stops out at 66, 2/3. There's a mathematical formula to that too. Like I read an article one time where it talked about in Nazi Germany, initially a society was divided between 1/3 that were Nazi supporters, 1/3 that were ambivalent, and 1/3 that were in opposition. And what the Nazis did was that before they even went after the Jews like that, they went after the ones that were in opposition, like mostly communists and labor unions, and they destroyed them because they were the one, a true threat to their power. And then when the 1/3 got destroyed, the other 1/3 came, basically succumbed. So now you have the whole of society becoming, either supporters or afraid to say anything. So that's what they're doing. That 66% is a key threshold, and that's why they're pushing and pushing and pushing to get that number up. And they also know, somebody said to me, like if you walk into a room and 9 out of 10 people have their mask on, and you don't, you put your mask on most likely. If you walk into a room and 9 out of 10 people don't have a mask on and you have a mask on, when you walk in, you will take yours off. This is a psychology. Like we're very, very susceptible to herd-like thinking. So they figure that if you get rated up to 80%, the 20% will be like, you could basically do whatever they want to do to us, and nobody's going to object. So this is not about public health. This is not about safety. This is about tyranny. And that's why yesterday the big new article that I published on Monday, which has really been making the rounds, is that the FDA did not approve the Pfizer quote-unquote vaccines. This is the biggest scam.
Wait, hold up real quick.
Oh, hey, my bad.
I'm going to go ahead and give you the link to the Rockfin stream, and then I'm going to cut the YouTube. If you don't have a Rockfin account, that is not a problem. Just click the link. If you want to fuck around in the chat with us, go ahead and make the account. The account is free. If you absolutely love what we do, you can endorse the show for $9.99 a month, and you get everybody's paywalled content on the network. It is a fantastic way to get support to the content creators that you enjoy, and it's also like basically like the same thing as like a Netflix for content, because you get all the paywalled shit for the one thing. Link is in the description. Teddy and I are going to talk about stuff that's going to get us thrown off of YouTube. So make sure that if you're enjoying this conversation, you do click the Rockfin link. Again, you don't need an account. We'll see you in just a minute, y'all. Yeah, there we go. So we are, I believe, done with YouTube. If not, I'm going to make for goddamn sure. Yes. God damn it.
I just